You are Locked On Yankees POSTCAST. Part of Locked On Sports New York on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right, we're back. Another struggle, yet another positive outcome for the Yankees. And because of it, the Bombers are now one win from baseball's Final Four. That's right, the championship series. Bombers hang on to beat the Royals in Kansas City tonight. Final score 3-2. The hitting hero, Giancarlo Stanton. Out of the woods comes Stanton. And now the Yanks, as we said, have a 2-1 series lead in the division series against Kansas City. Hello, everyone. I'm Jay Berman. If you're a New Yorker, you might recognize my work. If not, welcome aboard. Glad to get to know you. I've spent more than 2 decades in the biz, everything from TV to web to radio. And, of course, you can follow me on X at Jay Berman. That's Jayberman. As we said, it's now a 2-1 series lead for the Yankees after a 3-2 win over the Royals in Kansas City in Game 3. Welcome to the Locked On Yankees postcast, both on the Locked On Sports New York YouTube channel and the Locked On Yankees podcast feed. The postcast gives you a place to hang out after every single Yankees game. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Again, 3-2 the final score. The hitting star, Giancarlo Stanton, will get to the pitching. We'll chat everything Clark Schmidt, who made the start for the Bombers tonight. The pen, once again, was brilliant. Stanton's night, despite the fact that it was a bit surprising, really for all of us, unforgettable. It'll go down as one of the great Yankee nights. He was without a doubt the hero of the night on the hitting side. We've got to discuss Aaron Judge, who was the exact opposite and continues to be in the postseason. And despite the victory, he is mightily struggling at the dish. We'll break that down, and we'll look ahead, of course, to Game 4 and hopefully beyond. All that coming up on the postcast. This episode is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.com, yeah, the right stay can make you a fan of any city, even your baseball rivals. Book today on Booking.com, the official accommodation partner of Major League Baseball. Get the Booking.com app today. All right, as we said, it's a 3-2 Yankee win, and the reason why, Giancarlo Stanton. Stanton goes 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs, including that go-ahead home run, which came in the 8th inning, breaking up a 2-2 tie. And again, the Yankees go on to win it 3-2. And because of it, they are now, as we said, 1 win from the American League Championship Series. What a run it's been for the Yankees. As we said for the starters, we'll start with Clark Schmidt. Schmidt fared pretty well early on. 4 2/3, 4 hits, 2 earned, 1 walk, 4 Ks through just 71 pitches. And Schmidt was replaced by Clay Holmes, who, believe it or not, has had a sterling postseason record. Holmes goes an inning and a third, did walk a batter, but that was it. Did not allow a hit or a run through 16 pitches to get his 4 outs. Also 4 outs for Tommy Kahnle, and we'll get the decision by Aaron Boone to remove Kahnle after 1 out in the 8th inning, decided to go to Luke Weaver for a 5-out save. The final 2 outs of the 8th inning belonged to Weaver, despite the fact that he allowed 2 hits. It was first and third, 2 outs. Weaver gets into and out of trouble. And of course, 1, 2, 3 in the 9th go the Royals quite easily. So Luke Weaver, an inning and 2/3, those 2 hits, both in the 8th inning, nothing in the 9th, no walks, no hits, did not allow a run through just 20 pitches, 14 for strikes. So 14-6 for Luke Weaver, who is turning out to be right now, or at least at this point in time, the Yankees' best reliever. Again, 3-2 the final score. Seth Lugo went the first 5 for Kansas City. He allowed 2 earned runs, which was fine. Really fine from the staff ace. 5 innings, 2 earned. The problem was Bubic. And he came in the 8th inning and allowed Giancarlo Stanton to go yard. Stanton's home run was 417 feet. And as Bob Costas pointed out, quote, "This night in large part has belonged to Giancarlo Stanton. His 12th career postseason homer, and Costas was right on the money. It was Stanton's night." Again, 417 feet, and certainly worthy of note, Stanton's home run is the first Yankees go-ahead home run in the 8th inning or later of a postseason game since, get this, Raul Ibanez back in Game 3 of the 2012 ALDS. Amazing, over 11 years ago. Pardon me, over 12 years ago. Again, the first Yankee home run, the first Yankee go-ahead home run in the 8th inning or later of a postseason game since Ibanez did it back in 2012. The struggles for the Yankees, specifically in the clutch, continue with obviously that huge exception of Stanton's home run in the 8th inning, entering the 7th inning. So that's prior to the home run from Stanton. The Yanks were 3 for 22 with runners in scoring position. That's in this series. They stranded 25 runners on base. So needless to say, it was a big hit for Stanton. It was a big hit for the Yankees, and it sort of washed away the struggles of one Aaron Judge, and we'll get to him pretty soon. Judge, of course, has one hit coming into tonight's game. And what did Judge do? Well, he went 0 for 4 and struck out. He did walk, but again, one infield single for Aaron Judge through 3 games. He has struck out 5 times. Coming into tonight, get this, 11 for 77 with 29 strikeouts in 19 postseason games dating back to the start of October 2020. So he's a wonderful, if not the best player in all of baseball during the regular season. And he's got to get things turned around in the postseason. Now, look, obviously, the Yankees have proven that they can win without him. They've taken 2 of the first 3 from Kansas City. So that's a good start, and he's basically done nothing. So imagine if he gets things going, these games won't be close and the Yankees will be well on their way. Of course, if the Yankees can manage to hang on to beat Kansas City in 4 or 5 games, and we'll get to game 4 coming up, well, then they would face the winner of the Detroit-Cleveland series. That's an interesting series as well. Before we get there, we've got to close out either game 4 or game 5, and we'll do so coming up. Tommy Kahnle gets the first out in the 8th, as we told you. That's when Boone made the interesting decision to go to Luke Weaver for a 5-out save. Kahnle was cruising. Kahnle, an inning and a third, struck out a batter through just 13 pitches to that point to retire his 4 batters. So it was a little bit of a curious decision. You knew he was waiting to get to the point, Boone was, where he could use Weaver. The question was, would he let Bobby Witt and Salvador Perez go up against Tommy Kahnle? And the answer was no. He was not going to let that happen. 1 out in the 8th inning. Boone, right out of the dugout, goes to get Kahnle. Obviously, Bobby Witt was the next batter. Pasquantino and then Perez. He did not want those batters facing anybody but Luke Weaver, and Weaver got the job done, obviously registering the required outs to get out of it without giving up a run in the 8th, and then quietly go the Royals in the 9th. Again, Weaver threw just 20 pitches. As we said, Seth Lugo, 13 times this season, he went 7 or more innings, and the Yanks really wore him down. He threw 87 pitches in his 5 innings. There were questions about letting him continue, but at that point in time, those 2 runs had scored for the Yankees, and at that point in time, it was 2-2. And so the Royals and the Yankees were deep into their bullpens. We told you several days ago, after game 2, that after game 1, 11 pitchers were used combined between the 2 teams. Then in game 2, several nights back, 13 pitchers were used. Well, the Yanks used just 4 tonight. Schmidt, Holmes, Kahnle, and Weaver. They were all excellent. As for the Royals, they used Lugo, Zerpa, Schreiber, Long, Singer, Pubic, and Lorenzen. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11 pitchers used. So again, 11, 13, now back to 11. We're going to use double-digit pitchers between these 2 teams almost every single night. It's baseball in 2024. You have just got to get used to it. Again, Schmidt and Lugo both allow 2 earned runs. Neither was great, and they left it to the bullpens, as it should have been. As we said, Clay Holmes has been excellent in the postseason. Tommy Kahnle was excellent again tonight, and Luke Weaver, for 5 outs, needed just 20 pitches. So he's been excellent as well. Holmes, Canely, and Weaver, none of them have allowed an earned run in the series as of yet. As we talked about Aaron Judge, it's a problem. One infield single that came in the 8th inning of game 2. He has now struck out 5 times in the series. Again, has just 1 hit. And coming into tonight was 11 for 77 with 29 strikeouts in 19 postseason games dating back to the start of October 2020. So he needs to get things turned around. It's no disrespect to the Kansas City Royals, but it seems like the Yankees can skate through this division series without Judge hitting. I'm not so sure how far they can take it in the championship series and then hopefully ultimately, knock on wood, in the World Series. Judge at some point has got to get it going. All right, coming up, we'll talk about, once again, Judge's struggles. Yanks on the verge of clinching. We'll get to the Stantonian-type blast. We'll do it all coming up next. All right, you've heard us talk a lot about FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Well, we've got something just a little bit different for you now. All FanDuel customers can bet $5, get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Then with the YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment. You can cancel anytime. And if that's not enough, be sure to check out FanDuel's Profit Boost in the app. Use it for FanDuel's Double Your Winnings for all of the Sundays in September and October. Pre-game moneyline bets, Profit Boost will be live. View your account page now to learn more about FanDuel. I also want to tell you about Game Time. Let's talk Game Time for a moment. One of my favorite things to do. I've discussed it many times on the Postcast. Go see live events, be it a game, a concert, whatever. One of my favorite things to do. Game Time is a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets for your favorite live events even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste your time searching through thousands of tickets. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code LOCKEDONMLB. That's LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It is game time. All right, fresh off a 3-2 Yankee win. And that's exactly what the Yankees pulled off tonight. They beat the Royals, as we said, 3-2, and they now lead the series 2-1. We talked about the Yankees' struggles. Obviously, tonight, the exception being Giancarlo Stanton. Entering the 7th inning tonight, the Yanks were 3 for 22 with runners in scoring position through the first, 2 games and 7 innings. They stranded 25 runners on base. They then got to the 8th inning and watched Giancarlo Stanton hammer one 417 feet, his 12th career postseason homer. We pointed it out earlier. We'll repeat it because it was a great quote from the great Bob Costas. Quote, "This night, in large part, has belonged to Giancarlo Stanton," close quote. Now, that was obviously after the home run, but before the Yankees had closed things out. So very good job there by Costas, who, by the way, Costas and Ron Darling are a great booth. The Royals and Yankees and the fans and the TV listening audience in good hands with those two. But again, Costas pointed out that it was Stanton's night. We discussed last postcast 2 nights ago when the Yankees lost game 2 to the Royals. Would we discuss benching Giancarlo Stanton? Well, not only did Giancarlo Stanton have a ribby double tonight, not only did he have the go-ahead and eventual game-winning home run, he stole a base tonight as well. Now, he didn't score in that frame, and it really was sort of a, we're not going to keep our eye on you because there's no way you're stealing a base, stolen base, but that's exactly what happened. So kudos to him. Again, a ribby double, then a single, then a stolen base, then a home run. Terrific night for Giancarlo Stanton, and that's probably why you're going to see him in the lineup every game in the postseason moving forward, barring an injury. He's just too valuable. That stick right in the middle of the order. All right, so we talked about, obviously, Aaron Judge's struggles. Let's mention Bobby Witt's struggles as well. He now has just one hit. That hit came off of Luke Weaver, the first batter Weaver faced in the 8th inning after Canley was pulled in favor of Weaver. It was a single that he would eventually wind up on third base after, but he didn't score. Point being, another night of unproductive at-bats for Bobby Witt, with the exception of that single in the 8th inning. So he's struggling mightily as well. Now hitting a cool 182 in this postseason. That's after 2 wins over the Orioles in the wild card round and 3 more games with the Yankees in the divisional series. So again, Bobby Witt Jr. and Aaron Judge both struggling. By the way, Judge now hitting .091, albeit 3 games, and he has just 1 infield hit. Bobby Witt has 1 hit as well. So Witt and Judge, who are going to presumably finish 1-2, Judge and then Witt 1-2 MVP voting in the American League, well, they've combined for 2 singles, one of them an infield single. Regardless, it's a 3-2 win for the Yankees. And really, Yanks doing it despite their A game, in spite of their A game. All right, we saw Jazz Chisholm, and I wanted to get to this briefly. We saw him booed every single night. And as he continues to talk, and talk he will, I understand that's his game. But to be honest, even from a Yankees perspective and a Yankees fan perspective, felt like he deserved to be booed. And it doesn't mean I was rooting for bad things for Jazz Chisholm. It just meant that not only did he say that the Yankees would win the series, but he then doubled down and said that the Royals were lucky to win game 2. Talk about bulletin board material. And I understand at this level, at this point in this season, nobody needs bulletin board material. They're all up for everything. That being said, certainly don't want to spark that fire more than it's already been burning. So he did that. He's getting booed now. He's getting the Jesse Winker round the National League treatment, if you will. And again, probably deservedly so. But he has a chance to silence the crowd with his bat. Didn't do so tonight, went 0 for 4. Jazz is struggling as well. He did strike out, now hitting 167 through 3 games of this postseason. But again, those constant boos all night deserved and completely expected. All right, we'll take our final break. When we come back, we will discuss the starting pitchers again and get you set for game number 4. Hopefully not game number 5, but we shall get you ready just in case. All right, this episode of the Locked On Yankees postcast is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.com, Booking.yeah. The right stay can make you a fan of any city, even your baseball rivals. Book today on Booking.com, the official accommodation partner of Major League Baseball. Get the Booking.com app today. Explore those U.S. cities you've always secretly wanted to learn more about, be it St. Louis or Denver, or how about even Seattle? With hotels, bed and breakfasts, vacation rentals, resorts, and so much more on Booking.com, you might just find your perfect stay, even in your baseball rivals' cities during postseason. How about that? Maybe it's time to taste test your baseball competition stadium cuisine. Luckily, on Booking.com, you can find the stadium stay that's just right for you. With Booking.com's wide variety of choices across the U.S., you can even go incognito to all your baseball rival cities. Booking.com can help you book a stay that's close to your home team or rival's stadium. No matter what time you're rooting for this postseason, Booking.com can make you a fan of any U.S. city. From hotels that look over stadiums to family-friendly resorts, also to cute bed and breakfast stays, Booking.com has so many choices across the U.S. The right stay can make you a fan of any U.S. city, even your baseball rivals. Booking.com, Booking.yeah. All right, we're fresh off a 3-2 Yankees win over the Royals. Giancarlo Stanton getting the job done, despite the fact the Yankees still are not hitting in the clutch. Stanton's home run in the 8th inning, yes, certainly clutch, but that was it. And the Yankees really haven't been clutch for a while now. And that actually is a good sign. Would you rather play well and lose or leave room for improvement and win? Well, obviously, you know what the answer is. And the Yankees are doing just that. Not playing their A game, not bringing their A-game bats, but they're still winning, and that's all that matters. A good reason why? The pitching. Specifically tonight, the bullpen. The combination of Clay Holmes, who's been great, Tommy Kahnle, been great, Luke Weaver, been great. They've all been excellent. They combined to clean up the mess that Clark Schmidt left after 4 2/3. He only allowed 2 earned through just 71 pitches, kept the Yankees in the game. And when he left, it was a 2-2 score. And it would remain that way into the 8th inning when Giancarlo Stanton hit a no-doubter, 417 feet. His 12th career postseason home run. He's picking up the pace for Aaron Judge. And as long as Stanton does that in the lineup, not only is he going to play, he's going to get pitched around. And that lengthens the Yankee lineup. We found a leadoff hitter in Gleyber Torres. We've always had Soto and Judge 2 and 3. Then we found Austin Wells to be the cleanup hitter. Well, maybe we've now found Giancarlo Stanton's spot in the lineup. If he does continue to contribute, well, that tells you all you need to know about how deep that Yankee lineup can be. Really lengthens it. And it is something that the Yankees have desperately needed, especially if Judge and Soto are not going to play up to their potential. The Royals have now scored 23 runs in their last 10 home games. So the Yankee pitching picking up right where the rest of the American League pitching left off, stifling the Royals' bats, and they've got cold at the wrong time. Pasquantino, that injury hurt them. Absolutely. Now, did they still make the postseason? Yes. Did they still win a round? Yes. But you can see he's not 100% healthy. He goes 0 for 3 tonight with a walk, hitting just 105 in the postseason so far. He was a huge bat for them this regular season, obviously getting injured at the worst possible time. Point being, the Royals are in a rut. They have not been hitting, managed just 6 hits tonight. Yankees had just 4. 3 of them from Giancarlo Stanton. The only other Yankee with a hit tonight, Anthony Volpe. So it tells you all you need to know about Stanton, the state of the Yankees lineup, and the team moving forward. As we said, the Tigers beat the Guardians in Game 3 of the ALDS 3-0. So Tigers lead the Guardians 2-1. In the division series in the National League, Mets beat the Phillies 4-1. Mets advanced to the championship series. And again, Yankees beat the Royals tonight 3-2. As for game number 4, that comes your way tomorrow night, 8:08 first pitch. Yankees and Royals in Kansas City, a rematch of game number 1. Garrett Cole and Michael Wacha, again, 8:08 first pitch, so an hour later tomorrow night. Yanks are favored. Total is 7.5. Yanks are actually minus 155 on the money line, so that's pretty good. With Garrett Cole coming in, Yanks will try to close it out. If they cannot close it out on Thursday, that means a game number 5 would be Saturday. And that would feature most likely Carlos Rodon. It was supposed to be Brady Singer for the Royals if there was a game 5. He pitched tonight, so he's likely not to start. It is a setting on track to be a Carlos Rodon start in game 5. Let's win game 4 first, which of course features Garrett Cole. Thank you for making Locked On Yankees your first listen today. Now go check out the Locked On MLB podcast. Prepare for the Fall Classic with Sully, who has it all covered every single day. You can find the link to Locked On MLB in the description, so you don't need to search. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Also want to mention our partners in crime over at Locked On Yankees. That's Stacey Gatsoulias and Brian McKeon. They handle all the stuff there. They're the best. Follow, subscribe, and enjoy. Again, final score, Yankees beat the Royals 3-2. They've got a 2-1 series lead. They're going to try and close things out Thursday night in Kansas City with Garrett Cole on the mound. Should be fun. Again, Yanks lead the series 2-1. They win the game 3-2. And we are officially out.